how is this one family law firm in Chicago getting over 100 clients per month on average from Google? I'm going to go over who they are, what are they doing so well that they are able to rank number one on Google and get so many clients from Google, how much this is earning them ranking number one, and what you would need to do to beat them. So even if you're not competing in Chicago, like if you are aware of what does it take to rank number one in Chicago, this could help you because Chicago is one of the biggest cities, one of the most profitable cities for a family law firm to be in across the United States. So smaller city, you could still take the same concepts, the same ideas, and apply them to your own business. And also at the end, we're going to take a look at the ChatGPT and what does it take to rank in the LLM search engines. How well are these guys doing there, and what they should do to rank number one in LLM search engines as well. So let's get straight to it. So in order to analyze, I'm going to use my family law firm ranking teardown Google Sheet page. And if you remember, if you've seen my other videos, you know that I have done the same thing for other cities in the United States as well. But right now I'm doing it for Chicago. And I'm going to quickly go over some of the main things that affect Google Map Back rankings. And why I'm talking about Google Map Back is that still, to this day, most people, if they're looking for a service provider, if they're looking for a law firm, family law firm in this example, they will turn to Google, not just ChatGPT. So that's why we are focusing on this. And also, these two are also tied together. So if you're ranking well on Google, you're also going to rank well on ChatGPT as well. And ChatGPT has the 82% market share right now in terms of LLM search engines. That's why I'm just mentioning ChatGPT. But yeah, it also the same structures, the same systems work on other LLMs as well. The business that I'm talking about is Arami Law. And why I'm talking about these guys is that the keyword, the search phrase that has the most searches, that is being used the most by people in Chicago is divorce lawyer Chicago. And this depends and this varies depending on the specific city. In some cities, it's divorce attorney. And some other cities, you have the name in front. In some other cities, you also have the state included. So people would be searching like, but in Chicago, it's divorce lawyer Chicago. And this has the most search volume. 500 people every month are searching for this keyword. Just for this keyword, there are so many other variations of the same keyword. Like you can see here, Chicago, divorce lawyer Chicago. So the first one has 600, second one has 500, best one has 200 additional. So in aggregate, the total search volume for Chicago family law services is between 3,000 up to 10,000 searches every month. I'm just trying to be conservative here and use the number 3,000. Sorry, I was even more conservative. So I'm using 2,500 here. So let's say it's 2,500 searches. And if we took a look at the average customer lifetime value. So if you're a family law firm, the average customer in the Chicago area, Chicago has more high net worth individuals than the average in the United States. So the United States, usually on average, the customer lifetime value is around $10,000. And this is based on my research. I've covered this in my previous videos. I'm not going to waste your time with it right now. And again, this is just a single case value. It's the lifetime value of a customer. And if we take the 2,500 or 2,500 number here into account, the total SEO value per month is a little under $1 million in terms of customer lifetime value generated. And I'm not thinking here that all of these searchers are going to turn into a customer. I'm using 2.5%, as you can see here, as the conversion rate. So out of the people that would come to your site, if I'm estimating that every 40th, so 1 out of 40 would actually turn to become a customer of yours. And then that's the value that this would generate in terms of customer lifetime value per month. And per year, this would amount to an even greater number. But it also makes sense. Like if family law is a high ticket service, it's an expensive service. And if you were to rank number one, it's obvious that you'll be making a decent amount of money. And the cool part here is that it doesn't really take that much to rank number one. Of course, it takes work. It takes months of work, but the work is not going to cost you even 1 month's value, even 1 month's SEO value that you'll generate. But of course, these are just my estimations based on all the clients we worked with in the past and right now. But yeah, this is just all of this information, all of this analysis is based on our own ideas, our own practice, and me and my team working in the industry for a long time now. But yeah, the first thing that I'm looking at, so again, these are all the main Google ranking factors, and I will be assessing the company based on all of these factors here. So let's get straight to it. The first thing that's important to rank in the Google Map Back is the review count and the average review score. So with these guys, with Arami Law, like they ranking number one, their review count is 223 and the average score is a 4.6. They are about in the same ballpark as all the others in terms of review, but their score is a little bit lower. Because it takes many factors into account, you don't need to have the best score or the most amount of reviews, because out of the top 3 here, they have the least amount of reviews, although only 8 reviews less than the third guy here. And they also have a slightly lower score. But this is enough to rank number one, so they're doing well in that regard. So for the review count, I've given them a 4 out of 5, and the average review is a 5 out of 5. I've told this before. If your score is at least a 4.6, you would get a 5 out of 5 in my book, because people don't trust 5.0s. And anything above 4.6 included, I would give a 5. The review count, like we've seen some review counts in the thousands. That's why I'm giving them a 4, because you could do better. Now, the next thing is Google Business Profile Optimization. This is also super important. How well is their business profile optimized? The way to assess this is to just open up their business profile on the right here, and then look at the main things. So the first thing I notice is that the only business having the main keyword in the business or the Google Business Profile name. So these are all the Google Business Profile names. If you're a law firm or if you're a local business, like you would need to set up your Google Business Profile if you haven't done so already. And then you have a name here. And if you include your main keyword or your main niche in your Google Business Profile name, this is going to give you a significant ranking advantage. And Merrill Family Law here, they have the business, they have the niche in the name here, Divorce Lawyer Chicago, and all the others do not have that in the name. So they do have an advantage here. Merrill has an advantage over others, but still they are lacking on other factors, which means that they haven't been able to rank number one. And Arami here, having the main keyword in the business name is a small disadvantage. So that's why I wouldn't give them a 5 out of 5. Now, if you look at the other factors, so one thing that's really important is the images. This is more in terms of conversion rates. So you want to have images of the interior and the exterior of your office. You do not want to add stock photos like these. This is not building trust with your clients. Clients can obviously tell that these are stock photos, stock images. You don't want to do that. You want to add images of your own people like this one here. It would be ideal if they would be sitting in the office. Here's a video, probably of one of their lawyers. Yeah, this here again, stock image. Too many stock images. I don't really like that. And the customers usually don't like it either. But they do have most of their services listed here. They have Divorce Lawyer here in their profile as the main service. So this is well done. They are open 24 hours. This is also giving them a small advantage over others. They have their address. They have their phone number. They have their reviews here as well. For Google, it's obvious, but the missing factor with Yelp is that they don't have reviews on Yelp. They don't collect reviews on Yelp. And this is a small weakness. It doesn't affect Google rankings that much, but it does affect ChatGPT and LLM rankings a lot. So this is one thing they're lacking on. And also, they have a lot of reviews, but they do not respond to those reviews. This is also a weakness of theirs. Other factors that they do have posts on their Google business profile, and they have filled out most of their business profile. So this is job pretty well done from their end. Aside from some of the critique, aside from some of the negatives, like overall their profile is well optimized, and I would give them a 4 out of 5. Now citations, if I look at the citations, the way I look at it is I just search for their address in quotations, and I then deduct their own website. And then I want to see how many mentions I can find, and I saw 400 results here. So they have 400 citations, which is usually we want to see citation counts in the thousands. And what citations even are, these are just the business directory listings. And the more prominent they are, the better. So it's not only about quantity, it's also about quality. So ideally you want to be in US attorney directories like this one here, attorneydirectory.com, family law office. Then you also have on top list. So there are so many different websites listing businesses, and also including profiles on different websites like Tumblr. They have a profile there that's listing all of their main information. So the more of these you have, the easier it is for you to rank. And they have around 400, which is not that strong. So I've given them a 3 out of 5. Citations is a really important factor. So if you look at some of our other top rankers in different cities, like most of the top rankers have really high citation scores or a lot of citations, usually in the thousands. And in Chicago, it doesn't seem to be the case. You don't really need as many citations because the competition doesn't seem to be as fierce for some reason. Now, the next thing is titles and URLs. And here, what I want to look at is where are they using the main keyword, and are they even using the main keyword? And because they are ranking with their homepage, which is also an important factor to notice, you want to use your homepage to rank for your most important keyword, and they are doing exactly that here. And then I want to see, have they included their main keyword in the meta titles, meta descriptions? They do have their divorce attorneys and lawyers, so this is the main keyword. It doesn't have to be an exact match. Can also be a phrase match, which just means that you're using the same keywords or synonyms. So divorce attorneys and lawyers in Chicago are here as well. So this is well done. Divorce lawyer added here as well. Chicago added here. So this is well done. Headings. And the most important heading is the H1. So the main heading. And they have divorce lawyer Chicago here at the front. So somebody is definitely doing SEO for them. And this is done pretty well. So yeah, they're using a trick here as well. So they have the Aramilo logo. Then they have this subtitle here, but the subtitle is actually turned into an H1 title. So this is the most important title, and Google can read it and understand this is the most important title and have the most important keyword, Divorce Lawyer Chicago, in the most important title. And they're also using synonyms of it in other titles as well here. Your family, your future, your peace of mind, Illinois divorce law experts, divorce, prenup agreement, family law. So they're using the main keywords across the page. So this is pretty well done. And in regards to their titles and URLs, I've given them 5 out of 5. And about URLs, I didn't mention it, but I did mention it, that they're using their homepage to rank. So this is giving them a huge ranking advantage over others who aren't using their homepage. So family law is their main niche and Chicago is their main service area. So they are putting both of those on their homepage, which is almost an essential thing to do in a competitive city like Chicago. So they're doing really well on that front. Now the homepage, this is just we're using a tool called Surfer SEO, and this is just assessing how well your is optimized to rank for your most important keyword. And here their score is a 26 out of 100, which is a really lousy score, meaning that they're not really that well optimized in terms of on-page optimization. You see their competitors have much higher scores, and this is also one of the reasons why they only rank in the map pack. So the on-page optimization, like this is a factor to rank in the map pack, but this isn't one of the biggest factors and doesn't have such a huge effect, but it does have a huge effect on ranking here underneath the map pack, which is where a lot of people also go to, because 70% of people will click on one of the results here, and then 30% or 25% will click on one of the results beneath those. Their competitors have better scores, better on-page optimization scores. That's why Arami doesn't show up here. If we look at, do we see Arami? Now we see Skuros, Merel, Justia, Women's Family Lawyers, Chicago Attorney, Birman. Yeah, we do not see Arami here. So this is definitely a weakness, and this low on-page optimization score is probably one of the main reasons why they're not ranking as well with their homepage in the organic results underneath the map pack. So that's why I've given their on-page a 2 out of 5. And why it's a green is that, like, whenever you see green or yellow, it means that it's easy to beat them. Now the domain strength, this is just a sign of how strong their overall domain is in terms of backlinks, and their score is a 25 out of 100. You see a full circle, if it would be painted pink, it would be 100 out of 100, and their score is a 25. So for a local business, this is quite okay. But yeah, we usually try to get our clients' scores into the 30s, 40s, or 50s, because they are your domain rating, and you can get a higher domain rating just having more backlinks, more other websites linked to you. So this is a backlink thing, and their score is 25. Yeah, it's like the higher your score, the easier it is for you to rank for all of your important keywords. It's easier to rank with your different service pages, with your attorney names, although this is a given usually, and also with your blog articles. So getting a higher score, it's like a rising tide, which will lift all boats. So all of your articles are going to rank better. So this is an important factor, and I've given them domain strength 3. And backlinks, this is just backlinks to their homepage or to their main service page that's ranking. And because they are using their homepage to rank, backlinks part here gets the same score as the domain strength. Because if you are using your homepage once again to rank for your niche, then it's pretty much you are using the entire domain strength to rank for your most important keyword. So their score is a 25 out of 100, which gives a 3 out of 5 in my book. And yeah, it seems to do the trick for them. And now the last thing here is topical authority, which stands for how well is your website covering the niche, or how many articles you have published, how much depth you have in your topic, how much topical expertise you have expressed by having different service pages and answering your target audience's questions. The way to measure this is we look at top pages with Ahrefs to see what pages they have done. And we see that they have 44 pages. So this is way below what we usually see for top rankers. Usually top rankers have hundreds of pages, hundreds of blog articles and service pages. And so they have 44, which is actually quite the average, or slightly above most businesses that don't really pay attention to their SEO have between 15 to 20 pages usually. They have 44, so it's a little bit more, but still they could do so much better. They could have hundreds of blog articles. And this is also one of the reasons why they are not ranking so well for the organic results. But still, it's enough to allow them to rank number 1 in the map pack. So yeah, we see here that they have articles on complex property division, child custody attorney, Lake Forest. Okay, this is service page, how to prepare to file for divorce. So if you want to outdo them, you just need to write more blog articles, answer more questions. Grandparents' rights, child custody lawyers, here again for Lincolnwood, so for a smaller area, spousal maintenance, alimony, Haley Dyer. So yeah, they have a bunch of blog articles, but not that many compared to what we're used to seeing. Again, if you look at the others that we have reviewed, most of them have their topical authority scores in the 4s or 5s, which means that they have done hundreds of blog articles, not just 40 or 20 like the cases with these guys here. But this seems to be enough, like having just these things here done well enough, having some citations, having optimized titles and URL seems to be sufficient to allow them to rank number 1 and to earn this much in potential customer lifetime value. So if you do want to beat them, it's a little bit longer term process, I would assume. If you're starting from 0, if you're already starting from somewhere, then all you need to do is just make sure you have at least the same amount of reviews or the same ballpark amount of reviews. Your average review score is decent. You can have a better Google Business Profile optimization if you just take into account all the weaknesses that I showed you. You could have your main niche, a family law attorney or divorce law attorney, in the Google Business Profile name. This will give you a huge advantage. You could have more citations. With titles and URLs, it's hard to beat them, but you need at least match them. The on-page, it is easy to outdo them. You just need to use a tool like Surfer SEO or use our services if you'd like to get a better on-page score. Domain strength and backlinks, as long as you have a DR of at least 20, although I would recommend to build it up over time, because also the higher your DR, the harder it is for your competitors to beat you, to outrank you. And this is also one of the hardest things to do because they would need to build backlinks, and backlink building is one of the parts of SEO. And then topical authority, another weakness of theirs. You could do way more articles. Like you could do the same amount of articles they have in 1 or 2 months, and then in months you would have way more than they have. And this would give you high odds of outranking them because you would be doing better in most factors. Now, if you want to beat them, I would use this or just trying to outdo them on across most of these factors here. But the shorter term strategy might be to go after some other keywords as well. So not just going after the main keyword, which is Chicago divorce lawyers, you could also go after some longer tail keywords that have less competition, like child custody lawyer Chicago. You could try to rank for this keyword, for example. And then father's attorney Chicago, 150 people every month are searching for this keyword. And the competition, according to ratios, is a 0. So it doesn't mean that it's easy, but still, you probably don't need to do that much to rank for this keyword. And you could start getting clients straight away. The long tail keyword strategy that I've spoken about in another video, just to look for some lower hanging fruit, to start from first, to get the ball rolling, see the effect of SEO actually working for your company, and then start attacking the harder keywords, like your main keyword, which would be family law attorney in Chicago and these kinds of keywords. So yeah, child support attorney in Chicago, 150 searches. Family law attorney in Chicago, free consultation. So if you do provide free consultation, this is a page that you could easily generate. And if you have a dedicated page targeting this keyword, it's much easier to rank than just adding this as a section on any of your other pages. And also if you're servicing other areas or suburbs, and if you see that there is search demand, there are people searching for a divorce lawyer in that particular area, suburb, in a county, which is in your service area, you should definitely create some dedicated service landing pages, location or service landing pages to target those areas because people are searching from there. So it does make sense to create those pages to get additional traffic. Again, for these longer term keywords, the competition is just so much smaller. And now the last thing I wanted to touch, one more thing. Also, one thing I recommend to target is high ticket keywords that have low ranking difficulty. So like this one, high asset divorce attorney in Chicago. Yes, it doesn't get that many searches, but still, if you were to land one client from it, this is worth it to you. So I would just always recommend for the divorce law niche to create a high asset divorce attorney page because there are hundreds of people searching for it every month. This shows 30, but this is just this long way to phrase it. Like people are using different things. High asset divorce attorney near me, for example, that has more searches. And there are many ways people are searching. Divorce, high net worth, for example, and then Chicago added to it. And also if people are searching for this thing without adding Chicago, if they are in the Chicago area, they will still see your page if you are optimizing for that particular area. And you see here the top rankers, they don't have that many backlinks, and many of them, okay, actually in Chicago, most of them do target or use the high net worth divorce as the main keyword. So you need to do that as well. But still, just going after these keywords, you see here some of the sites ranking in the top 5 have a DR of 11 or 7. So this shows incredible weakness in this particular niche for this particular keyword. So do not sleep on those. The last thing I wanted to touch on was GPT rankings. And just one thing I just wanted to see, are they listed? And who are the best divorce attorneys in Chicago is the question I'm asking. And then I'm getting a bunch of results here, Kat and Stefani, which is, by the way, they were the first result on Google, and not on the map pack, but on the organic search rankings. And this is, again, just anecdotal evidence, but this is something we see all the time, is that if you're doing this kind of search and if you are ranking organically, so once again, what I mean by organically is that these are if I type in something like divorce lawyer Chicago, these are the map pack results and these are the organic results. And now if I ask this same thing from ChatGPT, they are listing Kat and Stefani as the #1 results here as well, because they are using Google or other search engine as the main source. So if you're ranking high on Google, odds are really high that you will also rank high on ChatGPT as well, because ChatGPT is using Google and other search engines to get their citations, get their recommendations from. So just doing regular SEO with local services like family law businesses will help you to get ranked on ChatGPT as well. And then the other things is that if you just simply go through the results and you want to understand, let's say you're not listed, like because Arami isn't listed, and if they want to get listed, an easy thing to do is just go to the bottom and click on the sources. And if you click on the sources, you're going to see on the right-hand side all the sources where ChatGPT got information from. And then what you can do is just try to get listed on the same sources with your own business. So some examples here are Super Lawyers, Reddit.com, VantageGL.com. Just go there and chime in or get in touch with the editors, with the people there, and do whatever it takes to get your business listed as well, because you want to be listed there to get cited by AI. This is what we do for our clients as well. I hope this was valuable for you, even if you're not competing in Chicago. It's always useful to see what's working for other competitors in more competitive cities, because then you can take the same things and you don't need to do as much to rank #1 in your particular city. And as a final thing, if you want me and my team to take a look at your site to review your particular city and your particular family law firm, just go to the first link in the description, fill out the 2 or 3 questions, and we will review your site. We'll look at where are you ranking right now? Who's ranking #1? What are the gaps? So what do you need to do to get to rank #1? And then we will share this Loom video with you. It's going to look like this one here. And then it's up to you if you want to implement those things by yourself or if you want to engage with us and use me and my team to do the work for you. So anyway, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.